Hey guys, it's Grace Furt here, and I'm here to tell you how to avoid the freshman 15. What I told you guys in the last video, I'm going to talk about how I gained all this weight in college and how you can avoid, keyword avoid, the freshman 15. So for me personally, I don't think I really gained like 15 pounds my freshman year. I think I honestly gained like 5 or 6 pounds every year, and then by my senior year I finally realized, okay, I gained some unnecessary weight that I need to get rid of. After I moved home for my last semester of college, I was student teaching, and I realized how much weight I had gained after I saw myself in pictures of one of my best friend's weddings and then just other pictures of myself in general, and I realized how much weight I had gained. So if you watched my last video, you'll see that I complained a lot about having to pay for my college tuition and bills and everything in general. But going on that note, since I had to pay for everything, one of those big things included food. So at the grocery, I didn't really realize how much food cost. And if you've never bought your own groceries, you should try it, and then you'll thank your parents. So since I had to buy my own food, I basically just went for anything that was cheap and filling. And let me tell you, those things included macaroni and cheese, cheap sugary cereals, ramen noodles, or ramen, I don't know how people say it, I say ramen, $4 frozen pizzas, soda and other sugary drinks, chips, energy drinks to kind of counterbalance the lack of sleep I got, fast food, like literally anything, McDonald's, Arby's, Wendy's, you name it. And then of course I had my weekly guilty pleasure, Little Debbie cosmic brownies. And you know what? I didn't even realize, I didn't care about this at all. Those brownies, just the little package, the package that comes with 2 brownies, those are like 500 calories. I'm not kidding. They're like actually 500 calories. And I would go through an entire box of those every week because I would go to the grocery store weekly and I'd always make sure I got my guilty pleasure cosmic brownies. So obviously all those things that I ate were a huge contributor to my weight gain, but on top of that, I'd be going out at least twice a week, drinking, sorry mom. Then after a night of drinking, I'd go across the street to Jimmy John's, which is where I worked for like an embarrassing amount of time. And since I still knew people that worked there, they would just make me a sandwich. They'd give me like free chips, free whatever. They'd actually like let me take orders and write them down too for deliveries, which is terrible. But then I'd take on my sandwich, I'd eat it, and then I would just binge eat the rest of the night, which never helps. I don't think people realize how much that drinking and eating terribly adds up, especially when you're not working out. And the way I would justify exercising was that I was walking to class like basically every day with like a 600-pound book bag of my $50,000 textbooks in my bag like every day to class, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm walking at least 1.5 miles, that's good, right? But clearly that wasn't doing my body justice, and I ended up gaining about 17 or 18 pounds by the end of my senior year. Other forms of exercise I would do would be at the club, dancing my booty off, breaking a sweat. That clearly did not prevent me from gaining the weight. Probably because I was not a good dancer. So I actually co-wrote this article, which I'm going to link in the description below. It talks about things that a lot of college students eat because they're cheap, and things that you can substitute it with so that they're not so terrible, like a lot of the things I just listed, because I did that. Some of these things included like binge eating crackers, and honestly it's very sinful. So honestly, this can apply to people that are in college, that are going to college, or that are just living, breathing, going through life. If you are struggling with weight gain, if you're struggling with eating things that you shouldn't be eating, like me, seriously, go to the link below. It'll change your world, okay? So instead of doing what I did by justifying exercising by just walking to class with your 600-pound book bag, get your booty into the gym. And if you don't have a gym, run outside, do something, follow Instagram people, do something besides just walk around. I promise you, your body will thank you, your mind will thank you, and you'll just feel better overall. Peoples, so in my next video, I'm actually super stoked about this one. My next video, I'm going to talk about how I lost weight, things that I did to actually motivate me, because I'm not a very motivated person, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be inspirational. Sorry, I just ate a cracker. I'll show you how I went from this to this. Did I do backwards? Oops. 5-second rule. So stay tuned for my next video, guys. I'm excited. You should be too. One of those have to work.